Hello, my name is Mark, and today we're going to be going over solving systems of linear equations. All right, just a couple of housekeeping notes I want to go over. Your boy is going to LA, so there might be some videos on delay. Make sure to check out my gaming videos too as well. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden, and for those following along with the lessons, I do have a whole playlist with practice problems you could practice to improve your math skills for the IBEW Aptitude Test, or really for any algebra test. This is very good foundation for you to build up on your algebra. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and practice test 2 will be coming out very soon, and I will make it difficult. It will have increased difficulty, which will probably match what the standard is now for some locals. I know some locals it's a little easier, but I know for the Bay Area, for 332, 617, 595, the standard is probably higher because there's a lot more people applying. And they get paid fat. Steps for systems of linear equations. Step 1. Solve one equation for a variable. Step 2. Plug known variable into the other equation. And step 3. Solve for the remaining variable. Usually you will have 2 variables. I have seen some problems where they have 3, and we will be using a method called plugging in the answer choices for that one. Most likely when you solve for a variable, you'll be using the methods elimination or substitution. There are these ones here. I want to make them known to you, but you will not be using it in the test. If you are, then good luck because I'm not teaching it. But there's graphing, clearing fractions. We'll do clearing fractions because I did add a clearing fractions, but that's not really a method. Matrices, row reduction, Kramer's rule, logical comparison, spotting structure, etc., etc. We're not going to go over those ones. We're going to go over the first 3 and clearing fractions, but again, that's not really a method. That is just something you will need to do. That is basic algebra. Question number 1. Solve the following system of equations. We have n and I, 3x minus 4y equals 17, negative 2x plus 5y equals negative 16. And then we need to find the ordered pairs. So again, going back to the steps for systems of linear equations, we want to solve one equation for a variable. Okay, and the best way to do this is elimination. And this is what I mean. When I do this, I wouldn't even write, actually no, because when you're taking the test, you will have a computer in front of you and you will have notes. So I would write down everything over again. I would write the equations. So we have 3x minus 4y equals 17, and we have negative 2x plus 5y equals negative 16. What I would do here is multiply this whole equation at the bottom by 3 and the top by just 2. I was going to say negative 2, but just 2. Why? Because I want to clear out this right here. I'm going to clear out this variable. That's what will happen. What you will see will happen when I multiply by each side or multiply by each equation, the respective numbers. So we have 6x, right? Because 2 times 3x is 6x, so that's what I'm doing. Minus 8y, because 2 times negative 4y equals negative 8y. And then this, 2 times 17, that is 34, right? 17, 34. And then here we would put negative, and I'm going to write it in a different color for you guys. So we have negative 6x plus 15y equals, what is 16 times 3? That is 48. 48, and it's a negative. And I just want to check my work really quick. See, your boy is not that great at memorizing the multiplications of some numbers. So I do that on the side, okay? You might see yourself doing this on the test, and that's completely fine, okay? So now we can eliminate this right here. So what we're left with is just combining the like terms from the equation. We have here negative 8y and plus 15y. When we combine these two, we get 7y, positive 7y, equals what is negative 48 plus 34, or 34 minus 48. And just for the sake of the video, I'm going to do that for you guys. 34 minus, that's 4, 1. It's for the sake of me, actually. That's negative 14. And then we divide by 7. Divide by 7. We get y equaling negative 2. Okay, that's one of the solutions for the ordered pairs. So if we look at our answer choices here, right? Let's just say we did this really fast and we're looking at everything and we're like, okay, I know that y equals negative 2. We're getting close. So I could eliminate this and I could eliminate this. And then what I'm left with are these two equations. What I could do, honestly, what we're going to do is just plug back this negative 2 into one of the equations. That's all we're going to do next. So I'm going to erase everything over here. So let's just use the top one. Let's just use n. And then we go 3x. I didn't have to parentheses that, but I did it anyway. I just have a habit of doing that. 17. And then 3x plus 8 equals 17. And then we minus 8, and let me just clear this up so we have some room. We have 3x equaling 9, right? Yes, 9. Is it 9? Yeah, it's 9. 3 divide by 3, and we get x equaling 3. And what we have is the ordered pair, and I'm going to do it in a different color. Ordered pair 3, negative 2. And that is answer choice B. Perfect. Okay, so what we did there was we used substitution, or not substitution, elimination to eliminate one of the variables. And then we find y in this case. And then we plug in y back into the original equation, either or, and then we got the remaining variable. And just for the sake of the video, we have y equals negative 2, right? I'm going to plug it in to I, just to show you could use either or. You don't have to worry about choosing the right one. So negative 2x plus 5 negative 2 equals negative 16. Then we get negative 2x minus 10 equals negative 16. And then we add 10 to both sides. We have negative 2x equals negative 6. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. We get x equaling positive 3. Because a negative divided by a negative equals a positive. So we get the same answer. We get 3. That's a terribly drawn 3. 3, negative 2. Perfect. Okay, again, that was elimination of a variable, and that's it. So let's go on to this. This is just my work previously. I did it. In this case, I don't know why I did this, but I multiplied by negative numbers when I didn't have to do that. I could have just multiplied them respectively by positive numbers. Okay, so question 2. We have solved the following system of equations, and we have little g and big G, and then we have 7x plus 3y equals negative 11, and 4x minus 5y equaling 34. Okay, for this one, the best method, again, is going to be elimination. Okay, so I'm actually going to look at these right here, these terms right here. So to eliminate this, I have to multiply by 5, and then right here, I have to multiply by 3. Why? So I can get negative 15y and positive 15y. So let's just work that out. So again, I would write everything down, okay? Let's say you have some scratch paper, you're taking the test, and you have to write everything down. I don't see a situation where you could just do this all without writing the equation down all over again. So I would multiply by 3 here, then multiply by 5 here, and then we would get 35x plus 15y equaling negative 55. And then we would get here 12x minus 15y equaling 3 times 34. That's a big number. Let's just do that off the side. And we get 102. Positive 102. So now we could eliminate the y variable, and then what we're left with is x. So let's combine the x's, the x terms, and that's going to be 47x equaling whatever this is, 102 minus 55, 102.55 minus, and then 12, eliminate that, 9, 7, 47. Oh, perfect. 47. Divide by 47. Divide by 47. And then we get x equaling 1. Box that up, because now we could check our x's, and then we could... Now, this is awesome. This is a really good example. We found x equaling 1. On the test, I would be like, okay, my math checks out. I believe my math checks out. I'm good to go. It's D, because it's the only answer choice here that has x equaling 1. Every answer has a different number. A has negative 2, B has 2, C has negative 1, and then D has what we're looking for, x equaling 1. If you're really confident with your math, I would just choose D and move forward, because there's harder problems to solve. Okay, but for the sake of the video, we're going to plug in that x. I won't plug in the x into the second equation I'm going to use. So that's what I want you to do for practice. So I'm going to choose capital G, and then I'm going to go 4, 1 minus 5y equaling 34. And then we get 4, because 4 times 1 is 1, minus 5y equaling 34. And then minus 4, negative 5y equaling negative, or not negative, just positive 30. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. And then we get, I'll erase. And then we get negative 6 equaling y. Okay, we have our ordered pair, which is 1, negative 6. Perfect. Okay, again, we used elimination for this. Elimination, we got rid of a variable, and then we combine like terms, solve for the variable, and then plugged in that variable that we had, the known variable, back into the equation, any equation, it doesn't matter, and then solve for the remaining variable. That's all we did. I want you to do these questions fast, okay? You need to do these questions fast. I believe these ones are a little easier, but they can get confusing when you do have fractions. But this is what I've seen on the test. I don't think they're doing any trickier problems or adding anything to make them more difficult. To make them more difficult actually is to add another variable, which we will have on question 6. Before we go on to question 3, I do want to point out again, if you are confident on your math, just choose D, because that's the only ordered pair with x equaling 1. Everything else doesn't have that. That's if you're confident with your math, and that is why you must practice now so you can get super confident, where this just all becomes second nature. Okay, now let's go on to question 3. Question 3, you guessed it, I would use elimination. But what I'm going to do, just to test it out and to show you there's other methods, I'm going to use substitution. This is going to get tricky, okay? But it's just something you may or may not use, okay? It's good to know it and not use it instead of not know it and then you have to use it, So I'm going to pay attention to P, okay? Minus 3x plus 2y equals negative 21. What I'm going to do here is I am going to rewrite this into y terms. So we have negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 21. I'm going to plus 3x, and then we get 2y equals 3x minus 21. And then I'm going to divide by 2, or just divide everything by 2 like that. And then we get, and I'll put this at the bottom here, y equals 3x minus 21 divided by 2. Now this is ugly. I don't like it, okay? But you may come across this, or while you're taking the test, you start doing this. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this is not looking right. But then you're just in too deep on solving the equation that you just keep going. You don't want to do the elimination route. So let's just go ahead and plug this bad boy, plug this y, right, into this equation, into A. So we get 4x minus 7, and I'm going to put this in orange, and then we get 3x minus 21 over 2, okay, equals 41. We're almost there. Stay with me, guys. I know this is hard. Substitution is a little hard. It's a little tricky. So then we get 4x minus, and then what is negative 7 times 3x? That's going to be 21x. And then what's happening is this 2 gets divided by each term up above. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then here we have negative 7 times negative 21. And that is going to be, let's just do the math right here. 21 and then 7. Multiply that out. 7, it's 147. So then we get 147 over 2. And I'm just going to erase this. Equals 41. Okay. And now I want each term to have a 2 underneath. Okay. So I'm going to make this into a beautiful fraction. Okay. And to make it a beautiful fraction, this actually is this. Okay, this is what's happening. 4 over 1. Now I want to have the 2 as a denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 2 on the top and the bottom to get 8 over 2. Okay? So hopefully you screenshotted that because that is basic algebra. So I'm going to manipulate the equation a little bit. So that's all I did. 8 over 2 is just 4 because 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we get that 21x divided by 2 plus 147 divided by 2 equals 41. So let's just combine these two over here. And that is going to be minus 13x over 2, right? 13, yeah, minus 13x over 2 plus 147 divided by 2 equals 41, okay? And what I would do here to get rid of the fraction is multiply each side by 2. So what's happening is we are just getting rid of the 2 here. So get rid of that, okay? And then we're going to continue solving at the top. And then we get minus 13x plus 147 equals, what is 41 times 2? That is 82. All right, we're almost there. And then I'm going to minus 147 from each side. Now this is a little hard. I don't know what 147 minus 82 or combining that, what that equals, but let's just do it really quick. 147 minus 82. Okay, that is 5. Okay, 14 minus 8. What is 14 minus 8? What is 14 minus 8? That is 6. So then we get 65. And it's actually negative, okay? So let's just minus 13x equals negative 65. And then we divide 13. Is that equal, right, though? I'm not sure if that's right. Is that right? Let's just see. I think it's 5. I did this last night. I think it's 5. Hold on. Let's just do the math. 13 times 5. 165. Oh my gosh, it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so then we get x equaling positive 5. All right, and this is another one of those. Look at that. We got x equals 5, where if you're confident on your math, look at this. X, right? There's only one ordered pair with positive 5, and that's B. Okay, we don't know yet though. But if we're really confident on our math, we'll choose B and just go on. Okay, but for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and plug in that 5 into the equation, back into any one of the equations to get the second ordered pair, or the second variable in the ordered pair. So let me just plug in x equaling 5 to, I'm going to plug it into P, because everyone would have chose the first one, but not me. I will choose the second one to give it some love. Okay, so then we get, I'm going to put x equals 5 over here. And then let's do this really quick. Negative 15 plus 2y equals negative 21. And then plus 15, plus 15, 2y equaling negative 6, right? Yep. Divide by 2, y equals negative 3. There we go. Our ordered pair is 5, comma, -3. And that is B. Now, I just showed you substitution, which is difficult. I wouldn't do it this way on the test. But if you catch yourself doing it, you can do this equation. You could solve this problem using substitution. It's possible. That's all I wanted to show you guys. So on your own, screenshot this question and use elimination. That is the easiest way to solve this equation. All of these questions are using elimination, even the fraction ones. Okay, so now let's go on to question 4, which does have fractions, and you may encounter a problem like this where we have to clear the fraction out first for both equations, and then we solve for a variable using elimination. So let me show you how that's done by drinking some water first. Look at the turtle on the straw. Solve the following system of equations. We have L and E, 3/4 x minus 2/3 y equals 13/3. And then we have 1/2 x plus 5/6 y equals 1/3. Okay, we have to clear out the fraction first. Number 1, okay? Number 1, clear out the fraction. Number 2, use a method. Use a method to solve for a variable. In this case, most likely, it's going to be elimination. Okay? Elim. You could use substitution, but as you saw from the previous question, it's going to be difficult, but it can be used. Okay, so there you go. Hopefully you screenshotted that. All right, so let's go ahead and start just with the first equation. And I want to get rid of the fractions. How do you get rid of the fractions? You have to find the LCD, the least common denominator. So this is from ChatGPT. It says, look at the denominators in the equation. Ask yourself, what is the smallest number that each denominator can go into evenly? For 4 and 3, that number is 12. So 12 is the least common denominator. And I could explain it through math. So I'm going to multiply each side by 12. Okay? And each term is going to get multiplied by 12. So I'll just put a 12 here too as well. So it's going to be 12 times 3 divided by 4. And then 12 times 2 divided by 3. And 12 times 13 divided by 3. So let's go ahead and do that. 12 times 3 is 36 divided by 4x minus 26 divided by 3 y equals, and then 13 times 12. I do not know what 13 times 12 is. So let me just go ahead and actually, there is a technique to this. Okay, you do multiply by the least common denominator, right? Okay, then we have 12 over here. What is 12 divided by 3? What is that? That's 4. So we could put a 1 here, a 4 here. This becomes 13 times 4. Okay, and then that's so much easier. 2, 1, 52. This equals 52. Okay, yeah. All right, that's a little shortcut. So we got our equation. We're almost done with our equation. So we just have to clear these fractions out now. 9, so 36 divided by 4 is 9, 9x, minus what is 26 divided by 3? That is 26 divided by 3. I think I did it wrong here. 12 times 2. What is 12 times 2? That is 24. Oh my gosh. All right, see? Even I make mistakes, okay? 24 divided by 3. Now that makes sense. 9x minus 8y equaling 52. Okay, cool. We found our first equation. L equals 9x minus 8y equaling 52. Okay, perfect. You would do this super fast, okay? Finding the least common denominator. I'm doing it really slow for you guys, so don't get discouraged that it's taking this long, okay? We're only practicing.
And we practice slow.
Okay, so next we have 1/2 x plus 5 6 y equals 1/3. The least common denominator here is 6, so I'm going to multiply everything by 6. Okay, so then we get 6 over 2x plus 30 over 6y equals 6 over 3. And that's 6 times 1 is 6, 5 times 6 is 30, 6 times 1 is 6. And then let's just clear out these fractions now. And we have 3x plus 5y equals 2. All right. And then in orange, I will put E, and that is 3x plus 5y equaling 2. And now, looking at our equations at the bottom there in the corner, what can we eliminate? Okay, what would you choose to eliminate? Because you could go at this many ways. You could multiply L by 3, and then you could honestly, by just looking at this, you could just multiply E by -3 to get -9x, and then solve for the missing, or solve for one variable and then plug it back in, and so on and so forth. Or if you want to take the long way and you don't figure out that you could just multiply by -3, you would multiply L by 5 and then E by -8, or I'm sorry, just 5 and 8, no negatives, just both positive. And then you would just solve. But yeah, don't do that, okay? We're not here to do that. Let's go ahead and solve. So I'm going to multiply this whole thing by -3, both sides. So we get, and I'm going to put E on the top just because we're going to be multiplying, -9x plus, and that's a negative now, -15y equaling -6. And then we have 9x minus 8y equaling 52. We can cross that out. And then we have -23y equaling -44 or 46. Yeah, 46. And it's positive 46. And then divide by -23, divide by -23, and that makes sense. Y equaling -2. And then we look at our answer choices, and we could eliminate B and D. And then let's just go ahead and plug in the y equals -2 into one of our equations. I'm going to plug it into L, and I'm going to go 9x minus 8, -2, equaling 52. 9x plus 16 equaling 52. Man, I should have chose the other one because there's that big old number. But for the sake of the video, we're tracking forward. And that's 9x equals, that is 42, and then 42 minus 6 is 36. 36, okay. Divide by 9, divide by 9, x equaling 4. And then the ordered pair is, what is the ordered pair? It is 4, comma, negative 2. Okay, and that's answer choice C. So there you go. To do this problem, you need to eliminate the fraction, and then not eliminate the fraction, but get rid of the fraction, then choose the method of elimination to solve for one variable, and then plug in that variable back into the equation. And in this case, you could use the equations that we use when we got rid of the fractions. You can plug them in back inside the fraction if you wanted to, but that's a headache. Okay, next question, question 5. Okay, so again, we would find the least common denominator. So in this case, I already see it. It's 20. 20. And over here, it's going to be 6. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's just start with A, and that's 22 over 5x plus 20. Okay, I'm going to parentheses 20. 3 over 4y equaling 20 negative 7 over 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. 20 times 2, that is 40 over 5x. And then what is 20 times 3? That is 60 over 4y. And then 20 times 7 is 140. And I believe this is going to be a negative number divided by 5. Okay. 40 divided by 5 is 8x. And it's a plus. Did I miss that? Yes. 60 divided by 4 is 20, right? No, 15. 15y. Equaling what is 5, what is this? What is 140 divided by 5? My gosh, I don't know that one off my head. I hate dividing too, like by hand. Ha! 8, 28. It is 28. Negative 28. Okay, we found out A, and I'm going to write this at the bottom here. A is 8x plus 15y equaling negative 28. All right. Let's go on to S. And I erased on accident this 6 here. And let's go ahead and multiply everything now in equation S by 6. One third y equaling 6 that's 6, 10 over 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. 6 times 1, 6 over 2x minus 6 over 3y equals 60 over 3. And then we get 3x minus 2y equaling, and this time it's 20. Okay, perfect. So we have A and S. S equals 3x minus 2y equaling 20. Okay. We have our equations and we're ready to rock and roll, baby. Now we already know how to do this, right? So we're going to choose substitution because we like doing work. No, we will not do that. We will... Actually, can we substitute? Was it better to substitute? It's probably not. It's probably not better. So we have 8x and 3x. So what I would do here is I would multiply this side by... I'm gonna choose a negative 3x, and then this side by 8. And then this will cancel out these x's. So let's go ahead and do that. So negative 24x minus 45y equals, what is 28 times 3? That is 4, 2, 3, 2, 84. 84, and I believe that is it's a positive now. And then this is 24x minus 16y equaling, and 20 times 8 is 160. Okay. Perfect. And then we eliminate that. Wow, this is huge. I don't remember doing it like this though. But let's just see. Maybe I may have got this one wrong. Who knows? Okay. Let's combine. And this is going to be 1, 1, and 61y. And that's a negative number. Wow. Equals, let me just put this y and make it better. And this is 4, 4, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4. Wow. Does this make sense? I'm not even going to use I'm going to use a calculator for this. 244 divided by 61 is 4. Nice. Okay. You won't be able to use a calculator on the test. So you didn't see me do that. Okay. Y equals 4. And we see on our answer choices that y does not... Did I choose y or x? There's no y here. Oh my gosh, I might have done this wrong. Huh. Oh, it's a negative. 244 positive 244 divided by negative 61 equals negative 4. I did it right. So from looking at this, y equals negative 4, we can eliminate this and eliminate this. But man, I use the calculator and I feel really bad about that because you will not be able to use a calculator. Okay. My bad, guys. My bad. Okay. Y equals negative 4. Okay. What I would do here if I didn't have a calculator, which I didn't, you didn't see me use a calculator at all. So I would get 61 and I would just start multiplying it by stuff, right? I'll be like, okay, 3, 183. Okay, no. We're getting closer though. We're getting closer. And then I would do this 4 and then 244. And then I would be super happy that I found that. Then I would use that 4 and then y equals 4. Right? And it's a negative because 244 divided by negative 61. So that's what I would do. Okay. Sorry I did that. I feel really bad again. But okay. We found y equals negative 4. So let's just go plug it in. Let's plug it into the easy one too. 3x minus 2 negative 4 equaling 20. And then 3x plus 8 equaling 20 minus 8 minus 8. 3x equaling 12 divided by 3 divided by 3. X equals 4. Our ordered pair is 4 comma negative 4. And that is answer choice A. All right. We're going places, guys. We're going places. We're getting it. You're getting it. You are passing your test, whatever it is. Okay. Now for the hard one. I mean, 4, 5, and 6 are hard. But now for the hard one. Okay. And it's not that hard. Okay. With the method that I'm about to use. Okay. So the method I'm going to use is just plugging in the numbers. Okay. So we're going to look at the first equation and we see x plus y plus z equaling 6. And when I mean plugging the numbers, this is x, this is y, and this is z. That's usually how they would write it. They wouldn't write it z, x, y, okay? They would do it like this. They wouldn't screw you over like that. So just looking at the answers, all these are x, all these are y, and all these are z. All right? So just plug it in, right? Let's just try A and plug it into to E, right? And we get 2 plus 1 plus 3 equals 6, and that's 6 equals 6, and that checks out, and that's good to go. So let's go ahead and plug it to double E now. So we do 2 times 2 minus 1 plus 3 equals 3. And then we get 4 minus 1 plus 3. Did I do that right? Yes. And then we get, what is 4? That doesn't, it's not right. It's 3 plus 3 equals 3. And then we get 6 equaling 3. That doesn't equal. So we could get rid of this one. It doesn't clear the second equation. All of them, you could see, pass the first equation. All right? Because 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. So you don't have to plug in each of these equations, each of these ordered pairs into the equations. Okay? So let's see what's up with B. And then 2, and then 1 minus 2 plus 3 equals 3. Then we get 2 minus 2 plus 3 equals 3. 2 minus 2 cancel out. 3 equals 3. And that's right. All right. One more. Let's put it into triple E. And then we do 3, 1 plus 2, 2 plus, oh, am I looking at the right question? 3, 1, okay, plus 2, 2, yes. Minus. I was looking at the second one. Minus 3 equaling 4. And we get 3 plus 4 minus 3 equals 4. These 3's cancel out. And that leaves us with 4 equaling 4. And that checks out. So B is the correct answer. If you plug in all the other numbers, they just won't equal, right? I don't know what the correct term is. But for the sake of this video, okay, I would stop here and move on if I found the answer like this. I would have already left this question. But for the sake of this video, let's just plug in C into double E and triple E and see if we can make it work. So 2, 3 minus 2 plus 1 equals 3. And we get 6 minus 2 plus 1 equals 3. And we get 4 plus 1 equals 3. And we get 5 equaling 3. No. So we can cross that out. That doesn't check out. Let's just do the last ordered pair in this question. And then we get 2 times 2 minus 3 plus 1 equals 3. And we get 4 minus 3 plus 1 equals 3. What is 4 minus 3? That is 1 plus 1 equals 3. 2 equals 3. No, they don't equal. Out. Get out of here. Knock them out. People, we're done. We've completed the continuing education for solving systems of linear equations. Okay? And this is from the unofficial practice test 1, for the mathematical portion of the IBEW Aptitude Test. The only method that you will need to know, the only methods that you'll really need to know are elimination, substitution, plugging in the answer choices, and clearing out fractions. But again, that's not really a method. That's just something you do. That's basic algebra. So really, it's just elimination, substitution, and plugging in the answer choices. That's it. That's all I have for you guys. Make sure to go back to these questions, screenshot them without my notes, and then do them yourself and just keep practicing. You need those reps, guys. Take breaks too. And when you take breaks, make sure to watch your boy play some video games. My latest game is Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm super excited to play that game. And I am going to LA for the weekend. So the videos may be delayed. But do not worry. We will be getting them out. We will be pushing them out. I'm doing my best to push out as much free content for you guys to help you pass the math portion of any tests, really. Okay, because it first started out with the IBEW, but now I really want to create a foundation for any tests. I want to create a foundation, your algebra foundation for any test. That's it. That's all I have for you guys. Marky Baby out. I will see you on the next video. Bye.